afternoon, Year 3. It's Miss Cartwright again. I hope you're all okay. We are going to be doing some history this afternoon. So let's have a look at what we are learning today. Our learning objective is to know about my local history. So where's local to us? What would our local history be? So we are looking at Duckingfield today, learning more about the history of Duckingfield. So last week in our geography lesson, we were learning all about mining, weren't we? And we were locating different regions, mining regions on the map. And I asked you to locate one particular mine on the map, and that was the Astley Deep Mine Pit. And I am pleased to say that quite a few of you managed to locate that pit in Duckingfield. Well done. So the Astley Deep Mine Pit. So it is in fact in Duckingfield, and here is a map. So we've got Manchester with some different areas of Manchester on there. We can spot Duckingfield just beneath the purple location thing. Let's zoom into the map then a little bit more so we can see where the deep pit mine is, the Astley Deep Pit Mine. We can see where it is here. Can you tell me what street it is off? So it's just off King Street here, okay? It's just located here off King Street. Can you spot any other place on the map that you recognise in Duckingfield? Anywhere else that you know that you can spot? And we've got the park here. Where's our school? We've got our schools just about here. We've got the cricket club over here, okay? So we can recognise a few different places on this map. The pit was located just down here, okay? So let's have a look at the pit in more detail. So what exactly is this an illustration of? What is it? It's the Astley Deep Mine Pit. It's the colliery. What's the colliery? Does anyone know what that word means? It means it's the pit. It's all the outbuildings and everything together, okay? It's not just the pit. It's all the workings of the pit together, the colliery, okay? So this is an illustration that was featured in a national newspaper. We can see the Illustrated London News. Okay, and this was in the newspaper about the opening of the pit. So let's have a look at the dates and when this all happened. So this newspaper reported that in August 1858, over 160 years ago, and this is what it reported. It said the deepest coal pit in Great Britain and probably in the world has, after nearly 12 years of hard labour, just been completed and opened at Duckingfield, Cheshire, okay? So at the time, it was the deepest coal pit in the whole wide world. Imagine that, our local Duckingfield. It was famous for having something best in the world. Imagine that. So, yeah. So the mine that they are talking about in the newspaper is the Astley Deep Mine Pit, which was 629 metres deep and it had 3 shafts. Can you remember when we looked at the images last week of the mines and how they had different tunnels and lifts for workers to be able to get right down into the depths of the earth? And it was said to have cost £100,000. So £100,000 in today's money is a lot of money, isn't it? But in Victorian Britain, so when Queen Victoria was on the throne, that £100,000 would have been millions of pounds for them to build that. £10 million and over for them to build this Astley Deep Pit. So it's a big investment, okay? And it was owned by Benjamin Astley. So why exactly was coal needed in Victorian Britain? Why did Duckingfield need this coal mine to be opened? Why was it such a good thing? Well, coal was the main source of power in those times. It was used for all manner of things, for cooking and heating and for driving machinery. You can see this factory down here that's being powered by coal. Trains and steamships, they all use coal to work. So you'll learn a little bit more about the Industrial Revolution in Year 6 actually. So all of these things were powered by coal. So the fact that you now had a coal mine in Duckenfield, it meant that there were now jobs in Duckenfield for people to have. And this meant that there was money for people to have. So it brought wealth to Duckenfield. The owners became very rich and they could put up grand buildings in the town as well. So it was a good thing because it brought jobs and wealth to Duckenfield. We have now looked at the good things about the mine, why mining was a good thing, but there were some horrifying disasters that occurred at the site of this deep mine pit. So on the 4th of March 1870, there was an underground gas explosion and it killed 9 men. Then another horrifying event on the 14th of April 1874, an underground gas explosion killed 54 men. And it wouldn't have just been men, fully grown men. It would have been children as well, because in these times, children worked down the mines. There were narrow tunnels down the mines, so little children could fit down there. So often, children were used to go down the pits. And we'll look at this in a little bit more detail tomorrow. We're going to have a look at these disasters. So the pit eventually closed in 1901 and the shafts were filled in. So the lifts that took you down into the depths of the earth were filled in and left to stand for many years before being built on. So where Astley Deep Pit Mine was, it's now the site of a development of houses. So houses stand there now, and I don't know if you know where Angel Close, Oval Drive and Silver Close are, but those houses are on top of the mine. So now we are going to create a fact file about the mine. So you can do this in your book, and it's almost like a little bit of a poster. An information poster all about the mine, and I want you to answer these key questions. So, when did the mine open? What is it famous for? Where is it located? So, where is it on the map? Who owned it? When did it close? And any interesting did you know facts? So, you might set it out like this. So, I'm going to put this page on Class Dojo so you can fill it in. So where is the deep pit mine located? You can fill that in. What year did it open? Who owned it? What is it famous for? When did it close? And you can add some interesting did you know facts. There were some really interesting ones. Think about back to the newspaper, what the newspaper reported on. Think about some of the events that happened at the mine. Then got an image. If you're doing this in your book, you might want to draw the mine yourself. And then finally, I've got a map of Duckenfield here, and you can locate on the map where the mine is. So mark on this map where the mine is. So you might need to rewind this video to remind you where it is located. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some really detailed fact files. Okay, so if you need any help at all, please get in touch, but good luck.